Hi, welcome back to the channel. This is Amari Music Talk. I'm Richard Cole. Thanks once again for tuning in. I know it's been a long time. Like I said, underestimated this spring season with the allergies. It mutated into something worse and been out of commission for a couple of weeks. Just been going to work, coming home, eating, resting, and all that stuff, and kind of now back at 95% pretty much. But yeah, I hadn't done anything music, and plus I was on a roll before things got worse too. Some good sessions. Can't wait to get Funky Poetic Bootlegs finished. Also hadn't really done a bunch of episodes, or any actually, except for last week with PC Munoz. We were talking about Cameo's style albums. We finally got that together, so be sure to check that out. In the future, coming up, there will be a discussion about Cameo's Cameosis album, and that will be with Ricky Wyatt. We may have some other guests on as well to talk about that classic album, so be sure to be on the lookout for that. And to do that, you can click like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, become a Patreon supporter, and you will get up-to-dates on all Amari Communications content. Alright, so with that out of the way, let's talk about what may be announced during Prince celebration. Alright, so like I said, prior to me being out of action, it had been kind of chaotic. Actually, during the time I was out, it had been kind of chaotic and a lot of weird stuff going on and changes in the estate, different fan bases kind of clashing and stuff. But I'm not going to get into any of the drama. Like I said, I always kind of focus on the music and what I enjoy about the music and things I'm excited about, things that you're excited about. But the long and short of it is that now L. Londell McMillan, who once upon a time was Prince's attorney, his manager, especially during the era with the whole name change to the symbol, becoming the artist, or the artist formerly known as Prince. And he is now one of the, I guess, kind of figureheads of the estate, representing the family members that are still in control of their shares of the Prince estate. So he's been pretty vocal, or kind of more visible on social media lately. I kind of liken it to James Gunn, who's running DC Studios now. Debunking rumors, answering fan questions, just being more of a presence and putting the fan base more at ease, because you get an idea of what's going on, what's happening, what's not going on, what's being discussed, what's not being discussed, as opposed to just all this silence and announcements of merchandise. So it's good to kind of get that going. So like I said, he's been a pretty good presence on social media, and in talking about not only just the upcoming celebration at Paisley Park, which I talked about in the previous video. I'll have a link for that in the show notes if you haven't seen it already, but yeah, check that out as well. But as it sounds like that they're going to use the Prince celebration at Paisley Park, in addition to all the events that are going on that, I guess, weekend, or however long it is. They will be doing some announcements as far as upcoming releases for 2023 and 2024 and even beyond that. So I'm going to start with reading a tweet in response to a fan question that Londell McMillan had answered. So let me see if I can pull that up. Okay, got it. Alright, so this was from, I think, about a week ago. Oh, actually, yeah, May 5th of 2023. The fan asked, you can help me by telling me when the new Prince music is coming. And I think that is a valid question amongst all of us. When are we going to get something, new or exciting, or what's coming? And L. Londell McMillan's response is, new music is coming this year, 2023. Next year, 2024, and beyond. The exact dates will be shared publicly by our team at the time they deem it is best for the global release and distribution. Same with specialty box sets. Okay, so read that one more time. So new music is coming this year, 2023, next year, 2024, and beyond. The exact dates will be shared publicly by our team at the time they deem is best for the global release and distribution. Same with specialty box sets. Alright, so I like the use of the word box set. I'm kind of getting tired of super deluxe editions. Those that are, say, around my age or so, kind of like late 90s, early 2000s, if there was like a remastered reissue of a particular classic album by an artist, they had these sort of what they would call deluxe editions, and it would be the original album remastered, and usually a second disc, maybe in some cases a third disc of outtakes, maybe some demos, some bonus tracks, maybe some live versions of them. But they weren't the magnitude of box sets, which were traditionally 4, 5, 6 plus CDs or LPs long. But just in the last several years, there's been this title of Super Deluxe Edition, which I guess is an alternative to saying box set. But I personally prefer box set. Like I said, getting a little tired of Super Deluxe Edition. It's just easier to say box set. But then, just have standalone releases. If it's a 2-disc thing with an original album and some bonus tracks, that's cool. Expanded edition, you can call it that. But anything else, compilations, live albums, things like that. But save box sets for the big stuff, and that we know that we're getting something special with that. But that's just my personal view on it. But going back to this statement about there will be an announcement this year and something coming this year, and I'm guessing probably closer to the end. Now there's been some rumors about Lovesexy, Batman soundtrack, and I think For You is getting reissued on vinyl, supposedly coming at the end of this month. But again, I don't think I've heard anything official from the Prince Estate or Sony or even Warner Brothers. But that would be exciting, and I'll probably talk about that in a different video. But it sounds like, according to the statement and other statements that Londell McMillan's made on social media, that the celebration will be used kind of in a way like Comic-Con, CinemaCon, D23, Star Wars Celebration, where you get the excitement of being amongst other members of the fan base and having panels and workshops and exhibitions. But the thrill of those events are either sneak previews of upcoming movie releases or comic book releases. But in this case with Paisley Park, it has been announced this past week that there will be unreleased material that will be played at Celebration. So that'll be something to look forward to. But as far as, again, using it to announce, hey, coming Christmas season of 2023, we're getting a deluxe or box set of this particular album. So what do you think we should get? Or what do you think some of the announcements will be? So these are just some of my ideas of speculation. I don't have any inside knowledge or any ties to the estate or Sony or Warner Brothers. So, but this is just, me playing kind of, armchair quarterback as to what we could possibly get. So we do know that the theme, or the primary theme of Paisley Park Celebration, is centered around 7, which is not only a title of one of Prince's classic hit singles, but it's a number that has had serious significance, throughout his life. Not only being the date of his birth, June 7th, that number 7 has been a recurring energy number, throughout his existence. So, would it lend itself to the possibility of maybe the Symbol album either getting a standalone reissue or remaster? Will there be a box set of that album? I did a not speculation, but a video on what would make a great Love Symbol album super deluxe. Again, we'll have that in the show notes as well. That would be, that would be perfect. It would match the symmetry of the theme. It is a favorite of a lot of people in the Prince fan community, or in my case, the Prince musical singularity. So that would be something to look forward to. There had been rumors of that album either getting a box set or re-release or remaster. There's also been rumors of it being bundled with Diamonds and Pearls. The more I think about it, the more I'm not excited about that prospect of it. If you do something like that, then I would prefer it to be not titled anything with Diamonds and Pearls or Love Symbol, but just call it, New Power Generation Sessions, covering, the earliest tracks for Diamonds and Pearls up until the latest track for the Love Symbol album. And that, to me, would be a more interesting project. And then just, reissue or issue the original albums remastered as a standalone release, on vinyl and CD, and of course, streaming as well. Do it that way. That to me would be a better package, or better presentation if you're going to announce something like that. But could we get either one of those, a Love Symbol album, whether it's standalone or box set? Same thing with Diamonds and Pearls. Will there be announcement of that as well? So we'll just have to wait and see, or hey, let me know what you guys think about that. In regards to 2024 and beyond, would there be an announcement of a proper release of remastered albums of his catalog? Of course, obviously starting with the late 70s and 80s, the classic material, and then, eventually going into the 90s and beyond. But everything has a consistent look to the packaging. Everything's remastered or remixed to today's standards, whether it's 5.1, whether it's Dolby Atmos, lossless audio for the streaming services, but, good quality remastering for the vinyl and remastering for the CD. Will that be announced on or during celebration, on any one of the days of the celebration? I think it's overdue. Once upon a time, that was usually, the thing you would lead with any estate or legacy artist, regardless if they're living or dead. Once upon a time, they would, issue a box set covering an artist's entire career, and then slowly, just as the next couple of years roll by, you get a rollout of that artist's original albums remastered, and maybe some, you know, if the CD or the box set had some live tracks, then you would get a standalone live album of that particular show. But you know, it's a different time now, and the style of these things are different. The way they go about presenting these things and packaging these things are different. So, but you know, I do think it is long overdue for Prince's catalog to get a remastered, you know, packaging, good liner notes, you know, better packaging with the, you know, CD art, the album art, consistency with the labels, you know, if not a unified label as the Prince estate, but you know, given that each Prince album has its own identity, you know, have the label kind of match that scheme of, you know, whatever the theme was for that particular album. But it again, like I said, it's long overdue for that, and I would be excited to hear an announcement for that. Of course, the Netflix documentary, as far as the estate, it appears that they are prohibited from speaking on the Netflix documentary, whether it's positive or negative. And according to Londell McMillan, it's due to the fact that that was a deal that was made with the previous regime of the Prince estate. So based on the different contracts, licensing agreements, non-disclosure agreements, they're prohibited from saying anything, you know. So it's basically up to, I guess, Netflix and marketing and how they're going to promote it and when they're going to announce it. You know, hopefully this is something that can come out this year or near the end of the year. Given how Londell McMillan has been explaining why we haven't gotten a lot of information on it, it looks like it's going to be doubtful that there will be an accompanying soundtrack for that. I don't know. It might be a good question to ask. So if none of you actually get to asking before I jump on Twitter and do it, that would be a valid question to ask about. Yeah, like I said, I would have been excited for a soundtrack to accompany the documentary. And even now, it's still my #1 most anticipated Prince project right now, is the Netflix documentary. Just, you know, given all the stuff that had been said about it previously, the people that are involved, and you know, most of them are enthusiastic about their participation in it, and I'm excited to see how the narrative is going to flow. You know, what are they going to cover? You know, of course, you know, his artistry and his music is the most important thing, but you know, the goal of a documentary is to actually get an education on, you know, the narrative. You know, I want to hear some things that I don't know about or didn't know about, or you know, connect some dots. You know, I hope it's not a sensationalist piece, but there have been things or documentaries that I've seen on Netflix that, you know, they've raised some valid questions, and they've, you know, in the cases of whether an individual had met with foul play, you know, it's caused them to, you know, people to start asking questions, and you know, governments to reevaluate the situation, whether it was on a local level, maybe not so much federal, but on that local level. If the crime happened in that city, then it's like, oh well, let's take a look at this case again. And you know, I got a lot of opinions on that. I might start to, you know, slowly address those in future videos. Maybe having a couple of people on to kind of discuss those things. But again, kind of want to just do those, again, with respect, and in the case of presenting, you know, a video to the public, you know, something that can be educational, as well as entertaining. as well. But you know, want to focus on the facts and things of that nature. But so I doubt that there'll be anything regarding the Netflix documentary, unless all they can do, if they're given permission at the time, to announce a release date for it. But yeah, like I said, hopefully, you know, if we don't get it this year, I've got a feeling we'll probably get it next year. And this is going to be on the strength of my next speculation, which brings us to the Purple Rain 40th anniversary. I can't see 2024 going by without something, and something big. If it's not a box set in the way that you or I would imagine it, but it would have to be something special, like a properly remastered album, you know, reissuing Purple Rain, reissuing Ice Cream Castles remastered, reissuing Apollonia 6 remastered. You can throw in Chili's Glamorous Life. You know, that was a big part of 1984 as well, even though she wasn't in Purple Rain, or none of the songs from the Glamorous Life album was in Purple Rain. But that's still a significant part of the Prince world in 1984. So, like I said, I can't see them doing absolutely nothing. So, I would say on the large scale, you know, a box set, a proper box set for Purple Rain. I'm going to do a video on that too down the road too. How to make a great Purple Rain Super Deluxe. So I'm going to work on that immediately. Other than that, like I said, if you do just standalone reissue or remaster, like I said, proper remastering, the official Prince estate, you know, sanctioned remastering of Purple Rain, and like I said, bring out Ice Cream Castles, bring out Apollonia 6, you know, just kind of on the lower end of the spectrum, you know, if they're going to do something big for Purple Rain. So if there's not like a box set, but if you do these standalone releases, I would say, you know, probably the biggest thing would be a 4K Blu-ray release of Purple Rain. And you know, I think the documentaries from the 20th anniversary still would hold up, but you know, if they could do even new, of course, again, like I said, depending on the logistics dealing with the Netflix documentary, I don't know if they could produce anything new in regards to that, but you know, even if they just recycled the documentary stuff from the 20th anniversary, it'd still be cool. But you would get the remastered 4K, probably hopefully the music videos again, remastered 4K, and with those, like I said, keep the documentaries on there as well. If you can get away with doing a new one, do a new one. But you know, I can't see them doing something, you know, and like I said, even if it's, you know, a Prince year where you just, you know, you do focus on Purple Rain for its 40th anniversary, and then like I said, the catalog, the 80s catalog, you know, bring that out, you know, early in the year, later in the year, whatever. I don't know, but like I said, it should be exciting. I'm excited to hear what's going on with that. You know, if you have some ideas, let me know what your thoughts are. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on that subject. But yeah, once everything unfolds, I don't know if there's going to be any live streams for Celebration, but if there are, you know, I'll keep my eyes and ears open, and if there's any breaking announcements, I'll jump on here and do some quick reactions to what's been announced and my thoughts and all of that. So it'll be fun. So definitely check it out. That will end this episode of Amari Purple Talk. Thanks once again for tuning in. Again, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And until the next time, create your day and create your life. Peace.